Act 4, Scene 2 of Faust Part II by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 4, Scene 2 on the headland. Drums and military music from below. The Emperor's tent is pitched. General-in-Chief.
It still appears the prudentest of courses, that here, in this appropriate vale, we have withdrawn, and strongly massed our forces. I firmly trust we shall not fail.
Emperor.
What comes of it will soon be brought to light, yet I dislike this yielding semi-flight.
Look down, my prince, where our right flank is plated. The field which war desires hath here been granted. Not steep the hills, yet access not preparing, to us advantage, to the foe ensnaring. Their cavalry will hardly dare surround our strength half hid on undulating ground.
My commendation only need I speak. Now arm and courage have the test they seek.
Here on the middle meadows' level spaces, thou seest the phalanx, eager in their places. In air the lances gleam and sparkle, kissed by sunshine through the filmy morning mist. How darkling sways the grand and powerful square! The thousands hum for great achievements there. Therein canst thou perceive the strength of masks? And thine, be sure, the foeman's strength surpasses.
Now first do I enjoy the stirring sight. An army thus appears of double might.
But of our left I've no report to make. Brave heroes garrison the rooky brake. The stony cliffs, by gleams of weapons specked, the entrance to the close defile protect. Here, as I guess, the foeman's force will shatter, forced unawares upon the bloody matter.
And there they march, false kin, one like the other, even as they styled me uncle, cousin, brother, assuming more and ever more defying the scepter's power, the throne's respect denying. Then, in their feuds, the realm they devastated, and now as rebels march, against me mated. Awhile with halting minds the masses go, then ride the stream wherever it may flow.
A faithful man, sent out some news to win, comes down the rocks. May he have lucky been.
First Spy.
Luckily we have succeeded, helped by bold and cunning art. Here and there have pressed and heeded, but 'tis ill news we impart. Many purest homage pledging, like the faithful fealty swore, for inertness now alleging people's danger, strife in store.
They learn from selfishness self-preservation, not duty, honor, grateful inclination. You do not think that, when your reckoning is shown, the neighbor's burning house shall fire your own?
The second comes, descending slowly hither, a weary man, whose strength appears to wither.
Second Spy.
First, with comfort we detected what their plan confused was word. Then, at once and unexpected, came another emperor forth. As he bids in ordered manner, march the cattering hosts away. His unfolded lying banner all have followed. Sheep-hard day.
Now by a rival emperor shall I gain, that I am emperor, thus to me is plain. But as the soldier, I the mail put on. Now for a higher aim the sword be drawn. At all my shows, however grand to see, did nothing lack, but danger lacked to me. Though you but tilting at the ring suggested, my heart beat high to be in tourney tested. And had you not from war my mind dissuaded, for glorious deeds my name were now paraded. But independence then did I acquire, when I stood mirrored in the realm of fire. In the dread element I dared to stand. 'Twas but a show, and yet the show was grand. Of fame and victory I've dreamed alone, but for the base neglect I now atone.
The heralds are dispatched to challenge the rival emperor to single combat. Faust enters in armor with half-closed visor. The three mighty men, armed and clothed as already described.
We come, and hope our coining is not chidden. Prudence may help, though by the need unbidden. The mountain race, they knowest, think and explore, of nature and the rocks they read the lore. The spirits, forced from the level land to sever, are of the rocky hills more fain than ever. Silent, they work through labyrinthine passes, in rich metallic fumes of noble gases. On solving, testing, blending, most intent, their only passion, something to invent. With gentle touch of spiritual power, they build transparent fabrics hour by hour. For they, in crystals and their silence furled, behold events that rule the upper world.
I understand it, and can well agree. But say, thou gallant man, what's that to me?
The Sabine old, the Norsean necromancer, thy true and worthy servant, sends the answer. What fearful fate it was that overhung him? The faggots crackled, fire already stung him. The billets dry were closely round him fixed, with pitch and rolls of brimstone intermixed. Not man, nor god, nor devil him could save. The emperor plucked him from his fiery grave. It was in Rome, still is he bound unto thee. Upon my path his anxious thoughts pursue thee. Himself since that dread hour forgotten, he questions the stars, the depths alone for thee. Us he commissioned, by the swiftest courses, thee to assist. Great are the mountains' forces. Their nature works ale pointantly and free, though stupid priests therein but magic see.
On days of joy, when we the guests are greeting, who for their gay delight are gaily meeting, each gives us pleasure, as they push and pull, and crowd, man after man, the chambers full. Yet chiefly welcome is the brave man thus, when as a bold ally he brings to us, now in the fateful morning hour, his talents, while destiny uplifts her trembling balance. Yet while the fates of this high hour unfold, thy strong hand from the willing sword withhold. Honor the moment when the hosts are striding, for or against me, to the field deciding. Self is the man, who crown and throne would claim, must personally be worthy of the same. And may the phantom which against us stands, the self-styled emperor, lord of all our lands, the army's duke, our prince's feudal head, with mine own hand be hurled among the dead.
However the need that thy great work be finished, risked were thy head, the chances were diminished. Is not the helm adorned with plume and crest? The head it shields that steels our courage best. Without a head, what should the members bridle? Let it but sleep, they sink supine and idle. If it be injured, or the hurt confessed int, and all revive when it is convalescent, then soon the arm its right shall reassert, and lift the shield to save the skull from hurt. The sword perceives at once its honoured trust, parries with vigour, and repeats the thrust. The gallant foot its share of luck will gain, and plants itself upon the necks of slain.
Such is my wrath. I'd meet him thus, undaunted, and see his proud head as my footstool planted.
Heralds, returning.
Little honour was accorded. We have met with scorn undoubted. Our defiance nobly worded. As an empty farce they flouted. Lo, your lord is but a vision, echo of a vanished prime. When we name him, says tradition, he was once upon a time.
It's happened as the best would fain have planned, who, firm and faithful, still beside thee stand. There comes the foe, thy army waits and wishes. Order! Attack! The moment is auspicious.
Yet I decline to exercise command.
To the General-in-Chief.
Thy duty, Prince, be trusted to thy hand.
Then let the right wing now advance apace. The enemy's left, who just begin ascending, shall, ere the movement close, give up their place, before the youthful force our field defending.
Permit me, then, that this gay hero may be stationed in thy ranks, without delay, that with thy men most fully he consort, and thus incorporate, ply his vigorous sport.
He points to the mighty man on the right. Bully coming forward.
Who shows his face to me, before he turn, shall find his cheekbones and his chops are shattered. Who shows his back, one sudden blow shall earn, then head and pigtail dangling hang and battered. And if thy men like me will lunge, with mace and sword beside each other, man over man the foe shall plunge, and in their own deep blood shall smother.
Exit.
Then let our centre phalanx follow slow, engage with caution, yet with might, the foe, there to the right already o'ertaken. Our furious force their plan has rudely shaken.
Faust pointing to the middle one.
Let also this one now obey thy word.
Half-quick comes forward.
Unto the host heroic duty shall now be joined the thirst for booty, and be the goal where all are sent the rival emperor's sumptuous tent. He shall not long upon his seat be lorded, to lead the phalanx be to me accorded.
Speed booty, sutleress, fawning upon him.
Though never tied to him by priest, he is my sweetheart dear, at least. Our autumn 'tis of ripest gold. Woman is fierce when she takes hold, and when she robs is merciless. All is allowed, so forth to victory press.
Exeunt both.
Upon our left, as was to be foreseen, their right is strongly hurled. Yon rocks between, ours will resist their furious beginning, and hinder them the narrow pass from winning.
Faust beckons to the mighty man on the left.
I beg you, sire, let this one also aid. 'Tis well when even the strong are stronger made.
Holdfast coming forward.
Now let the left wing have no fear. The ground is surely held where I appear. I am the ancient you were told of. No lightning splits what I keep hold of.
Exit. Mephistopheles descending from above.
And now behold, how, more remote, from every jagged rocky throat comes forth an armoured host, increasing, down every narrow pathway squeezing, with helm and harness, sword and spear, a living rampart in our rear, and wait the sign to charge the foeman.
Aside to the knowing ones.
Yon must not ask whence comes the omen. I have not been a careless scout, but cleared the halls of armour round about. They stood afoot, they sat on horses, like lords of earth and real forces. Once emperors, kings, and knights were they, now empty shells, the snails have crawled away. Full many ghosts, arrayed so, have for us revamped the Middle Ages thus. Whatever devils now the shells select, this once 'twill still create effect.
Aloud.
Hark! In advance they stir their anger, each jostling each with brassy clangour. The banner rags of standards flutter flowing, that restless waited for the breezes blowing. Here standeth ready, now, an ancient race, in the new conflict it would fain have place.
Tremendous peal of trumpets from above, a perceptible wavering in the hostile army.
The near horizon dims and darkles, yet here and there with meaning sparkles, a ruddy and presaging glow. The blades are red where strife is sorest, the atmosphere, the rocks, the forest, the very heavens the combat show.
The right flank holds its ground with vigour. There, towering over all, defiant, Jack Bully works, the nimble giant, and drives them with his wonted rigour.
I first beheld one arm uplifted, but now a dozen tossed and shifted. Unnatural such things appear.
Hast thou not heard of vapours banded, o'er the Sicilian coasts expanded? There, hovering in daylight clear, when mid-air gleams in rarer phases, and mirrored in especial hazes, a vision wonderful awakes. There back and forth are cities bending, with gardens rising and descending, as form on form the ether breaks.
Yet how suspicious! I behold the tall spears tipped with gleams of gold. Upon our phalanxes shining lances, a nimble host of flamelets dances. Too spectral it appears to me.
Pardon me, Lord, Those are the traces of spirits of the vanished races, the fires of Pollux and of Castor, whom seamen call on in disaster. They here collect their final strength for thee.
But say, to whom are we indebted, that nature hath our plans abetted, with shows of rarest potency?
To whom indeed, but that old Roman whose care for thee at last is proved? By the strong menace of thy foeman his deepest nature has been moved. His gratitude would see thee now delivered, though his own being for thy sake be shivered.
They cheered my march, with every pomp invested. I felt my power, I meant to see it tested. So carelessly I found it well, as ruler, to send the white beard where the air was cooler. I robbed the clergy of a pleasant savour, and truly have not thus acquired their favour. Shall I at last, since many years are over, the payment for that merry deed recover?
Free-hearted help heaps interest. Look up, and cease to watch the foeman. Methinks that he will send an omen. Attend! The sign is now expressed.
An eagle hovers in the heavenly vault, a griffin follows, menacing assault.
Give heed! It seems most favourable. The griffin is a beast of fable. How dare he claim a rival regal, and meet in fight a genuine eagle?
And now in circles wide extended, they wheel involved, then like a flash, upon each other swiftly dash, that necks be cleft and bodies rended.
Mark now the evil griffin quail. Rumpled and torn, the foe he feareth, and with his drooping lion's tail, plunged in the tree-tops, disappeareth.
Even as presaged, so may it be. I take the sign admiringly.
Mephistopheles towards the right.
From the force of blows repeated have our enemies retreated, and in fight uncertain, shifting, towards their right they now are drifting, thus confusing by their courses all the left flank of their forces. See! Our phalanx, firmly driven, moves to right, and, like the levin, strikes them in a weak position. Now, like waves in wild collision, equal powers with rage opposing, in the double fight are closing. Gloriously the weapons rattle. We at last have won the battle.
Emperor on the left, to Faust.
Look, it yonder seems suspicious, for our post the luck's capricious. Not a stone I see them throw there, mounted are the rocks below there, and the upper ones deserted. Now, to one huge mass converted, nearer moves the foe unshaken, and perchance the pass hath taken. Such the unholy plan's conclusion, all your arts are but delusion.
Pause.
There come my ravens, croaking presage. What nature then may be their message? I fear we stand in evil plight.
What mean these fatal birds enchanted? Their inky sails are hither slanted, hot from the rocky field of fight.
Mephistopheles to the ravens.
Sit at mine ears, your flight retarded. He is not lost whom you have guarded, your counsels logical and right.
Faust to the Emperor.
Thou hast, of course, been told of pigeons, taught to return from distant regions, to nests upon their native coast. Here, differently, the plan succeeded. The pigeon post for peace is needed, but war requires the raven post.
The birds announce us sore mischances. See, yonder, how the foe advances Against our hero's rocky wall, the nearest heights even now attaining. Should they succeed the pass in gaining, our fortunes then were critical.
Defeat and cheat at last are on me. Into your meshes you have drawn me. I shudder, since they bind me fast.
Courage! Not yet the die is cast. Patience and knack for not untying. The close will be the fiercest stand. Sure messages for me are flying. Command that I may give command.
General-in-Chief, who has meanwhile arrived.
To follow these hast thou consented? Thence all the time I was tormented. No fortune comes of jugglery. The battle's lost, I cannot mend it. 'Twas they began, and they may end it. My baton I return to thee.
Retain it for the better season, which fortune still to us may send. I dread the customers with reason. The ravens and their ugly friend.
To Mephistopheles.
As for the baton, thou must leave it. Thou art not, methinks, the proper man. Command the fight, canst thou retrieve it? Let happen all that happen can.
Exit into the tent with the General in Chief.
The blunt stick still be his protection. 'Twould naught avail in our direction. There was a sort of cross thereon.
What's to be done?
The thing is done. Now, my black cousins, speed upon your duties To the mountain lake. The Undines, watery beauties, Entreat, the appearance of their floods to spare. By female arts, beyond our sharpest seeing, They can divide the appearance from the being, And all will swear the being's there.
Pause.
Our ravens must, with flattery beladen, have sweetly coaxed each winsome water maiden. The trickling streams at once descend, the bold and rocky shoulders of the mountains give birth to full and swiftly flowing fountains. Their victory is at an end.
To such reception they're not used. The boldest climbers grow confused.
Now rook roars down to brook with mighty bubble, then from the mouths of the glens they issue double, and fling themselves in arches o'er the pale, then suddenly spread along the rocky level, and to and fro foam onward in their revel, as down a stairway hurled into the vale. What boots their gallant, hero-like resistance? The billow bursts and bears them down the distance. Before such wild uproar, even I must quail.
Nothing I see of all this moist illusion. To human eyes alone it brings confusion. And in the wondrous chance I take delight. They fly in headlong hurried masses. That they are drowning, think the asses. Though on the solid land they see an ocean, And run absurdly with a swimming motion. It is a most bewildering plight.
The ravens return.
To the High Master will I praise you duly, But would you test yourselves as masters fully, Then hasten to that smithy eyrie, Where the dwarf people, never weary, Hammer the sparks from ore and stone, Demand, while there you prate and flatter, A fire to shine and shoot and scatter, As in the higher sense 'tis known. 'Tis true that distant lightning quivering far lights, And falling, quick as wink of highest starlights, May happen any summer night, but lightning loose among the tangled bushes, And stars that hiss and fizzle in the rushes, Are shows that seldom meet the sight. Take no great pains, you understand, But first entreat, and then command.
Exeunt the ravens. All takes place as prescribed.
Upon the foe falls night's thick curtain, And step and march become uncertain. In every quarter wandering blazes, And sudden glare that blinds and dazes. All that seems fine, yet we should hear Their wild commingled cries of fear.
The hollow armour from the vaulted chambers, In the free air its ancient strength remembers. It rattles there and clatters all around, A wonderful, a cheating sound.
Quite right. The forms there's no restraining, Already nightly wax are raining, As in the splendid times of old. The brassarts there, as well as cuisses, Are Guelphs and Ghibellines, and this is Renewal of the feud they hold. Firm in transmitted hate they anchor, And show implacably their rancour. Now far and wide the noise hath rolled. At last the devils find a hearty advantage In the hate of party, Till dread and ruin end the tale. Repulsive sounds of rage and panic, With others, piercing and satanic, Resound along the frightened vale.
Warlike tumult in the orchestra, finally passing into lively martial measures. End of Act 4, Scene 2. Scene 3 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 4, Scene 3. The Rival Emperor's Tent. Throne, rich surroundings. Speed Booty.
So we're here the first, I see.
Have Quick.
No raven flies so swift as we.
Oh, how the treasure piles extend! Where shall I once begin? Where end?
But all the space is full, and now I know not what to take, I vow.
This carpet is the thing I need. My couch is often hard indeed.
There hangs a morning star so strong, the like of which I've wanted long.
This crimson mantle, bound with gold, is like the one my dreams foretold.
Have Quick, taking the weapon.
With this a man is quickly sped. One strikes him dead and goes ahead. Thou art already laden so, and nothing right thy sack can show. This rubbish rather here forsake, and one of yonder caskets take. The army's modest pay they hold, their bellies full of purest gold.
Oh, what a murderous weight is there! I cannot lift it, cannot bear.
Quick, bend and squat to take the pack. I'll heave it on thy sturdy back.
Oh me, alack! The burden slips. The weight has crushed my back and hips.
The chest falls and bursts open.
There lies the red gold in a heap. Quick, rake and take what thou canst keep.
Speed Booty, crouching down.
Quick, let the booty fill my lap. 'Twill still be quite enough, mayhap.
So, there's enough. Now haste and go.
She rises.
The apron has a hole. Ah, woe! Where'er thou dost walk or stand, thou sowest treasure on the land.
Guardsman of our Emperor.
What seek ye here with wanton eyes? Ye rummage the imperial prize.
We hazarded our limbs for pay, and now we take our share of prey. In hostile tents 'tis always so, and we are soldiers too, you know.
Among our troops he comes to grief who's both a soldier and a thief. Who serves our emperor fair and free, let him an honest soldier be.
Ah, yes, such honesty we know. 'Tis contribution, call it so. In the same mould you are all made. Give is the password of your trade.
To Speed Booty.
With what thou hast, the coast will clear. As guests we are not welcome here.
First Guardsman.
Why didst thou not at once bestow on the scamp's face a smashing blow?
I know not. I had not strength to strike. They seemed to me so phantom-like.
Something there was disturbed my sight. A flash. I could not see aright.
I also can declare it not. The whole day long it was so hot, so sultry, close, and terrible. One man stood firm, another fell. We groped and fought with valour rash. The foeman fell at every slash. Before one's eyes there was a mist, and something roared, and hummed, and hissed. So to the end, and here are we. And how it happened, cannot see.
The Emperor enters, accompanied by 4 princes. The guardsmen retire.
Now fare he as he may, for us is won the battle. And o'er the plain the foe have fled like frightened cattle. The traitorous treasure here, the empty throne we found, that hung with tapestry contracts the space around. Enthroned in honor we, true guardsmen, us protecting, the people's envoys are imperially expecting. The messengers of joy arrive from every side, and loyal now to us the realm is pacified. Though in our fight perchance some jugglery was woven, yet at last our own unaided strength we've proven. True, accidents sometimes for combatants are good. A stone may fall from heaven, on foes a shower of blood. From rocky caves may ring tremendous strains of wonder, that lift our hearts with faith, and drive the foe asunder. The conquered yielded, scourged by scorn's immortal rod. The victor, as he boasts, exalts the favouring God. And all the responsive shout, unordered, unentreated, we praise thee, God our Lord, from a million throats repeated. Yet as the highest praise, so rarely else expressed, I turn my pious glance on mine own grateful breast. A young and lively prince may give his days to pleasure, him teach the years at last the moment's use to measure. Therefore without delay I call ye for support, beside me worthy for, in realm and house and court.
To the first.
Thine was, Prince, the host's arrangement, wise inspection. Then in the nick of time, heroic bold direction. Act now in peace, as time thine offices may show. Arch-marshal thou shalt be, the sword I here bestow.
Thy faithful host, till now employed for civil order, thee and thy throne secured, shall strengthen next thy border. Then let us be allowed, when festal throngs are poured through thine ancestral halls, to dress for thee the board. Before thee brightly born and brightly held beside thee, thy majesty's support, the sword shall guard and guide thee.
Emperor to the second.
He who as gallant man can also gracious be, thou, be arch-chamberlain, not light the place for thee. Thou art the highest now of all the house retainers, whose strife makes service bad, the threateners and complainers. Let thy example be an honoured sign to these, how they, the prince and court, and all, should seek to please.
To speed thy high design, thy grace is fair precursor, the better to assist, and injure not the worser. Be frank, yet cunning not, and calm without deceit. If thou but read my heart, I'm honoured as is meet. But let my fancy now to festal service hasten. Thou goest to the board, I bear the golden basin, and hold thy rings for thee, that on such blissful days thy hands may be refreshed, as I beneath thy gaze.
Too serious I am still to plan such celebration. Yet be it so, we need a glad inauguration.
To the third.
I choose thee, arch-high steward. Therefore henceforth be chase, poultry yard, and manor subject unto thee. Give me at all times choice of dishes I delight in, as with the month they come, and cooked with appetite in.
A rigid fast shall be the penalty I wish, until before thee stands a goodly savoured dish. The kitchen folk shall join, and gladly heed my reasons, to bring the distant near, and expedite the seasons. Yet rare and early things shall not delight thee long. Thy taste desires instead the simple and the strong.
Emperor to the fourth.
Since here perforce we plan but feasts, and each is sharer, be thou for me transformed, young hero, to cupbearer. Arch-cupbearer, take heed that all those vaults of mine richly replenished be with noblest taps of wine. Be temperate thyself, howe'er temptation presses, nor let occasion's lure mislead thee to excesses.
My prince, the young themselves, if trust in them be shown, are, ere one looks around, already men full grown. I at the lordly feast shall also take my station, and give thy sideboard's pomp the noblest decoration of gorgeous vessels, golden, silver, grand to see. Yet first the fairest cup will I select for thee, a clear Venetian glass, good cheer within it waiting, helping the taste of wine, yet ne'er intoxicating. One oft confides too much on such a treasured store. Thy moderation, though, high lord, protects thee more.
What in this earnest hour for you I have intended, from valid mouth confidingly you've comprehended. The emperor's word is great, his gift is therefore sure, but needs for proper force is written signature. The high sign manual fails. Here for commission needful, I see the right man come, of the right moment heedful.
The Archbishop Arch-Chancellor enters.
If in the keystone of the arch the vault confide, 'tis then securely built for endless time and tide. Thou seest 4 princes here, I to them have just expounded how next our house and court shall be more stably founded. Now all the realms contains, within its bounds enclosed, shall be with weight and power upon ye 5 imposed. Your landed wealth shall be before all others splendid. Therefore at once I have your properties extended from their inheritance, who raised against us the hand. You I award, ye faithful, many a lovely land, together with the right, as you may have occasion, to spread them by exchange, purchase, or invasion. Then be it clearly fixed, that you unhindered use whatever prerogatives have been the landlord's dues. When ye as judges have the final sentence spoken, by no appeal from your high court shall it be broken. Then levies, tax, and rent, pass money, tolls, and fees are yours, of mines and salt and coins the royalties, that thus my gratitude may validly be stated. You next to majesty hereby I've elevated.
In deepest thanks to thee we humbly all unite. Thou makest us strong and sure, and strengthenest thy might.
Yet higher dignities I give for your fulfilling. Still for my realm I live, and still to live I am willing. Yet old ancestral lines compel the prudent mind to look from present deeds to that which looms behind. I also in my time must meet the sure redresser. Your duty be it, then, to choose me a successor. Crowned at the altar, raise his consecrated form, that so may end in peace what here began in storm.
With pride profound, yet humbly, as our guise evinces, behold, before thee bowed, the first of earthly princes. So long the faithful blood our living veins shall fill, we are the body which obeys thy lightest will.
Now, to conclude, let all that we have here asserted be for the future time to document converted. 'Tis true that ye as lords have your possession free, with this condition, though, that if unparcelled be, and what you have from us, howe'er ye swell the treasure, shall to the eldest son descend in equal measure.
On parchment I at once shall gladly tabulate, to bless the realm and us, the statute of such weight. The copy and the seals the chancery shall procure us. Thy sacred hand shall then validly assure us.
Dismissal now I grant, that you assembled may deliberate upon the great important day.
The secular princes retire. Archbishop remains and speaks pathetically.
The chancellor withdrew. The bishop stands before thee. A warning spirit bids that straightway he implores thee. His heart paternal quakes with anxious fear for thee.
In this glad hour, what may thy dread misgiving be?
Alas, in such an hour, how much my pain must greaten, to find thy hallowed head in covenant with Satan. True to the throne, it seems, hast thou secured thy right, but woe in God the Lord's, the holy pontiff's spite. Swift shall he punish when he learns the truth, the latter, thy sinful realm at once with holy ban hell shatter. He still remembers how, amid thy highest state, when newly crowned thou didst the wizard liberate, thy diadem but made thy heart for Christians harden, for on that head accursed fell its first beam of pardon. Now beat thy breast, and from thy guilty stores this unto the sanctuary a moderate mite repay. The spacious sweep of hills, where stood thy tent erected, where evil spirits then united thee protected, where late the liar prince thy hearing did secure, devote thou meekly taught to pious use and pure. With hill and forest dense, far as they stretch extended, and slopes that greenly swell for pastures never ended, then crystal lakes of fish, unnumbered brooks that flow in foamy windings down and braid the vale below. The broad vale then itself, with mead and lawn and hollow, thus penitence is shown, and pardon soon shall follow.
For this, my heavy sin, my terror is profound. By thine own measure shalt thou draw the borders round.
First be the spot profane, where sin was perpetrated, to God's high service soon, and wholly dedicated. With speed the walls arise to meet the mind's desire. The rising morning sun already lights the choir. The growing structure spreads, the transept stands exalted. Joy of believers, then, the nave is lifted, vaulted, and while they press with zeal within the portals grand, the first clear call of bells is swept across the land. Pealed from the lofty towers that heavenwards have striven, the penitent draws near, new life to him is given. The consecration day, oh, may it soon be sent! Thy presence then shall be the highest ornament.
So great a work shall be my pious proclamation, to praise the Lord our God, and work mine expiation. Enough, I feel e'en now how high my thoughts aspire.
As chancellory next, the formal treaty I require.
A formal document. The church needs full requital. Bring it to me, and I with joy will sign her title.
Archbishop has taken leave, but turns back again at the door.
At once unto the work devote, that it may stand. Tithes, levies, tax, the total income of the land forever. Much it needs to be supported fairly, and careful maintenance will also cost us rarely. And that it soon be built on such a lonesome wold, thou it from thy booty spare to us some little gold. Moreover, we shall want, here most we claim assistance, lumber and lime and slate, and such like from a distance. The people these shall haul, thus from the pulpit taught, the church shall bless the man whose team for her has wrought.
Exit.
The sin is very sore wherewith my soul is weighted. Much damage unto me the sorcerers have created.
Archbishop, returning once again with profoundest genuflections.
Pardon, prince, to him, that vile notorious man, the empire's coast was given, but him shall smite the ban, unless thy penitence the church's wrath relaxes. Thereto with tithes and gifts and revenues and taxes.
Emperor, ill-humouredly.
The land doth not exist, far in the sea it lies.
Who patient is and right, his day shall yet arise. Your word for us remains, and makes secure our trover.
Exit. Emperor, solus.
I might as well at last make all the empire over.
End of Act 4, Scene 3. Act 5, Scene 1 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 1. Open Country.
Wanderer. Yes, 'tis they, the dusky lindens. There they stand in sturdy age. And again shall I behold them, after such a pilgrimage? 'Tis the ancient place, the drifted downs, the hut that sheltered me, when the billow, storm uplifted, hurled me shoreward from the sea. Here with blessing would I greet them, they, my hosts, the helpful pair. Old, indeed, if now I meet them, since they then had a hoary hair. Pious folk, from whom I parted, be my greeting here renewed. If ye still, as open-hearted, taste the bliss of doing good.
Baucis, a little woman, very old.
Gently, stranger, lest thou cumber, best whereof my spouse hath need. He but gains from longest slumber, strength for briefest waking deed.
Tell me, mother, art thou even she to whom my thanks I bear? I, the youth whose life was given by your kind united care? Art thou Baucis, who the coldly fading mouth refreshment gave?
The husband appears.
Thou, Philemon, who so boldly drew my treasure from the wave? From your fire, so quickly burning, from your silver sounding bell, changed my doom to fortune turning, when the dread adventure fell. Forth upon the sandhill stealing, let me view the boundless sea, let me pray, devoutly kneeling, till my burdened heart be free.
He walks forward upon the downs. Philemon to Baucis.
Haste, and let the meal be dighted, 'neath the garden blooming trees. Let him go and be affrighted, he'll believe not what he sees.
Follows and stands beside the wanderer.
Where the savage waves maltreated you on shores of breaking foam, see, a garden lies completed, like an Eden dream of home. Old was I, no longer eager, helpful as the younger are, and when I had lost my vigour, also was the wave afar. Wise lords set themselves in motion, dikes upraised and ditches led, minishing the rise of ocean, lords to be in ocean's stead. See the green of many a meadow, field and garden, wood and town. Come, our table waits in shadow, for the sun is going down. Sails afar are gliding yonder, nightly to the port they fare. To their nest the sea-birds wander, for a harbour waits them there. Distant now, thou hardly seest, where the sea's blue arc is spanned. Right and left the broadest freest stretch on thickly peopled land.
Scene 2. In the little garden. The three at the table. Baucis to the stranger.
Art thou dumb? Of all we've brought here, in thy mouth shall nothing fall?
He would know the marvel wrought here. Fain thou speakest, tell him all.
'Twas a marvel if there's any, and the thought disturbs me still. In a business so uncanny, surely helped the powers of ill.
Can the emperor's soul be perilled, who on him the strand bestowed? Gave the mandate, not the herald, trumpeting as on he rode? Near our downs, all unexpected, was the work's beginning seen. Tents and huts, but soon erected, rose a palace over the green.
Knaves in vain by day were storming, plying pick and spade alike. Where the fires at night were swarming, stood the following day a dyke. Nightly rose the sounds of sorrow, human victims there must bleed. Lines of torches on the morrow were canals that seaward lead. He would seize our field of labour, hut and garden godlessly. Since he lords it as our neighbour, we to him must subject be.
Yet he bids in compensation fair estate of newer land.
Trust not watery foundation, keep upon the hill thy stand.
Let us to the chapel straying, ere the sunset glow has died, chime the vespers, kneel and praying, still in our old God confide.
End of Act 5, Scene 2. Scene 3 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 3. Palace. Spacious pleasure garden, broad, straightly cut canal. Faust in extreme old age, walking about, meditative. Lynceus, the warden, through the speaking trumpet.
The sun goes down, the ships are veering to reach the port with song and cheer. A heavy galley now appearing on the canal will soon be here. The gaudy pennants merrily flutter, the masts and rigging upward climb. Blessings on thee the seamen utter, and fortune greets thee at thy prime.
The little bell rings on the downs. Faust, starting.
A cursed chime, as in derision it wounds me like a spiteful shot. My realm is boundless to my vision, tet at my back this vexing blot. The bell proclaims with envious bluster, my grand estate lacks full design. The brown old hut, the linden duster, the crumbling chapel are not mine. If there I wished for recreation, another's shade would give no cheer. A thorn it is, a sharp vexation. Would I were far away from here.
Warden, from above.
With evening wind and favouring tide, see the gay galley hither glide. How richly on its rapid track tower chest and casket, bale and sack.
A splendid galley, richly and brilliantly laden with the productions of foreign countries. Mephistopheles, the three mighty men.
Here we have landed. Furl the sail. Hail to the master, patron, hail!
They disembark. The goods are brought ashore.
We've proved our worth in many ways, delighted if the patron praise. We sailed away with vessels twain, and 20 come to port again. Of great successes to relate, we only need to show our freight. Free is the mind on ocean free, who there can ponder sluggishly? You only need a rapid grip, you catch a fish, you seize a ship. And when you once are lord of 3, the 4th is grappled easily, the 5th is then in evil plight. You have the power, and thus the might. You count the what, and not the how. If I have ever navigated, war, trade, and piracy, I vow, are 3 in 1, and can't be separated.
No thank and hail, no hail and thank, as if our freight to him were rank. He makes a face of great disgust, the royal wealth displease him must.
Expect no further any pay, your own good share ye took away.
We only took it for pastime fair, we all demand an equal share.
First arrange them in hall on hall, the precious treasures together all. If such a splendour meets his ken, and he regards it more closely then, a niggard he won't be, at least, he'll give our squadron feast on feast. To-morrow the gay birds hither wend, and I can best to them attend.
The cargo is removed. Mephistopheles to Faust.
With gloomy gaze, with serious brow, of this great fortune hearest thou. Crowned in thy wisest industry, and reconciled as shore and sea. And from the shore to swifter wakes the willing sea the vessel takes. Speak then, that here from thy proud seat thine arm may clasp the world complete. Here on this spot the work was planned, here did the first rough cabin stand. A little ditch was traced, a groove, where now the feathered oar blades move. Thy high intent, thy servants' toil, from land and sea have won the spoil. From here
Still that accursed here, to me a burden most severe. To thee so clever I declare it, it gives my very heart a sting. It is impossible to bear it, yet shamed am I to say the thing. The old ones there should make concession. A shady seat would I create, the lindens not my own possession, disturb my joy in mine estate. There would I, for a view unbaffled, from bough to bough erect a scaffold, till for my gaze a look be won o'er everything that I have done, to see before me, unconfined, the masterpiece of human mind. wisely asserting to my sense the people's gain of residence. No sorer plague can us attack than rich to be and something lack. The chiming bell, the linden's breath, oppress like air in vaults of death. My force of will, my potence grand, is shattered here upon the sand. How shall I ban it from my feeling? I rave whene'er the bell is pealing.
'Tis natural that so great a spite Thy life should thus embitter quite. Who doubts it? Every noble ear Disgusted must the jangle hear, and that accursed bim bam booming, Through the clear sky of evening glooming, Is mixed with each event that passes, From baby's bath to burial masses, As if, between its bam and bim, Life were a dream in memory dim.
Their obstinate opposing strain darkens the brightest solid gain, till one, in plague and worry thrust, grows tired, at last, of being just.
Why be annoyed when thou canst well despise them? Wouldst thou not long since colonize them?
Then go, and clear them out with speed. Thou knowest the fair estate indeed I chose for the old people's need.
We'll set them down on other land, ere you can look, again they'll stand. When they've the violence outgrown, their pleasant dwelling shall atone.
He whistles shrilly. The three enter.
Come, as the master bids, and let the fleet a feast tomorrow get.
Reception bad the old master gave, a jolly feast is what we crave.
Mephistopheles, ad spectatores.
It happens as it happened of old, still Naboth's vineyard we behold.
End of Act 5, Scene 3. Scene 4 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 4. Dead of Night. Lynceus, the warden, singing on the watchtower of the palace.
Foreseeing intended, employed for my side, the tower's my dwelling, the world my delight. I gaze on the distant, I look on the near, the moon and the planets, the forest and deer. So see I in all things the grace without end, and even as they please me, myself I commend. Thou fortunate vision, of all thou wast ware, whatever it might be, yet still it was fair.
Pause.
Not alone that I delight me, have I here been stationed so. What a horror comes to fright me from the darksome world below! Sparks of fire I see out gushing through the night of linden trees. Stronger yet the glow is flushing, fanned to fury by the breeze. Ah, the cabin burns unheeded, damp and mossy though it stand. Quick assistance here is needed, and no rescue is at hand. Ah, the good old father, mother, else so careful of the fire, doomed amid the smoke to smother. The catastrophe how dire! Now the blackening pile stands lonely in the flames that redly swell. If the good old folk be only rescued from the burning hell! Dazzling tongues the crater launches, through the leaves and through the branches. Withered boughs at last ignited, break in burning from the tree. Why must I be thus far-sighted, witness such calamity? Now the little chapel crashes, 'neath a branch's falling blow. Soon the climbing spiry flashes set the tree-tops in a glow. Down to where the trunks are planted, burn they like a crimson dawn.
Long pause. Chant.
What erewhile the eye enchanted, with the centuries is gone.
Faust on the balcony towards the downs.
Above, what whining lamentation! The word, the tone, too late I heed. My warder wails, I feel vexation at heart for this impatient deed. Yet be the lindens extirpated, till half-charred trunks the spot deface. A look in the land is soon created, whence I can view the boundless space. Thence shall I see the newer dwelling, which for the ancient pair I raise, who my benign forbearance feeling, shall there enjoy their latter days.
Mephistopheles and the three, below.
We hither come upon the run. Forgive, not happily 'twas done. We knocked and beat, but none replied, and entrance ever was denied. Of jolts and blows we gave good store, and broken lay the rotten door. We called aloud with direst threat, but still no hearing could we get. And as it haps with such a deed, they would not hear, they would not heed. But we began without delay to drive the stubborn folks away. The pair had then an easy lot. They fell and died upon the spot. A stranger who was there concealed and fought was left upon the field. But in the combat fierce and fast, from coals that round about were cast, the straw took fire. Now merrily one funeral pile consumes the three.
Deaf unto my commands were ye. Exchange I meant, not robbery. The inconsiderate, savage blow I curse. Bear ye the guilt, and go!
The proverb old still runs its course. Bend willingly to greater force. If you are bold and face the strife, stake house and home, and then your life.
Exeunt. Faust on the balcony.
The stars conceal their glance and glow. The fire sinks down and flickers low. A damp wind fans it with its wings, and smoke and vapour hither brings. Quick bidden, and too quick obeyed, what hovers hither like a shade?
End of Act 5, Scene 4. Scene 5 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 5. Midnight. 4 grey women enter.
My name, it is Want.
And mine, it is Guilt.
And mine, it is Care.
Necessity mine. The portal is bolted, we cannot get in. The owner is rich, we've no business within.
I shrink to a shadow.
I shrink unto naught.
The pampered from me turn the face and the thought.
Ye sisters, ye neither can enter nor dare, but the keyhole is free to the entrance of Care.
Care disappears.
Ye, grisly old sisters, be banished from here.
Beside thee, and bound to thee, I shall appear.
At your heels goes Necessity, blight in her breath. The clouds are in motion, and cover each star. Behind there, behind, from afar, he cometh, our brother. He comes, he is Death.
Faust in the palace.
4 saw I come, but those that went were 3. The sense of what they said was hid from me, but something like necessity I heard. Thereafter death, a gloomy, threatening word. It sounded hollow, spectrally subdued. Not yet have I my liberty made good. If I could banish magic's fell creations, and totally unlearn the incantations, stood I, O nature, man lone in thee, then were it worth one's while a man to be. Ere in the obscure I sought it, such was I, ere I had cursed the world so wickedly. Now fills the air so many a haunting shape, that no one knows how best he may escape. What though one day with rational brightness beams, the night entangles us in webs of dreams? From our young fields of life we come, elate. There croaks a bird. What croaks he? Evil fate. By superstition constantly ensnared, it grows to us, and warns, and is declared. Intimidated thus, we stand alone. The portal jars, yet entrance is there none?
Agitated.
Is anyone here?
Yes, must be my reply.
And thou, who art thou then?
Well, here am I.
Avaunt!
I am where I should be.
Faust, first angry, then composed, addressing himself.
Take care! And speak no word of sorcery.
Though no ear should choose to hear me, yet the shrinking heart must fear me. Though transformed to mortal eyes, grimmest power I exercise. On the land or ocean yonder, I, a dread companion, wander. Always found, yet never sought, praised or cursed, as I have wrought. Hast thou not care already known?
I only through the world have flown. Each appetite I seized as by the hair. What not sufficed me, forth I let it fare, and what escaped me I let go. I've only craved, accomplished my delight, then wished a second time, thus with might stormed through my life. At first 'twas grand completely, but now it moves most wisely and discreetly. The sphere of earth is known enough to me. The view beyond is barred immutably. A fool who there his blinking eyes directeth, and o'er his clouds of peers a place expecteth. Firm let him stand, and look around him well. This world means something to the capable. Why needs he through eternity to wend? He here acquires what he can apprehend. Thus let him wander down his earthly day. When spirits haunt, go quietly his way. In marching onwards, bliss and torment find, though every moment with unsated mind.
Whom I once possess shall never find the world worth his endeavor. Endless gloom around him folding, rise nor set of sun beholding. Perfect in external senses, inwardly his darkness dense is, and he knows not how to measure true possession of his treasure. Luck and I'll become caprices, still he strives in all increases. Be it happiness or sorrow, he postpones it till the morrow. To the future only cleaveth, nothing, therefore, he achieveth.
Desist, so shalt thou not get hold of me. I have no mind to hear such drivel. Depart, thy gloomy litany might even befall the wisest man to evil.
Shall he go, or come? How guide him? Prompt decision is denied him. Midway on the trodden highway halting, he attempts a byway. Evermore astray, bemisted, everything beholding twisted. Burdening himself and others, take breath, he chokes and smothers. Though not choked, in life not sharing, not resigned and not despairing. Such incessant rolling, spinning, painful quitting, hard beginning, now constraint, now liberation, semi-sleep, poor recreation, firmly in his place ensnare him, and at last for hell prepare him.
Ill-omened spectres, by your treatment strays 1,000 times the human race to error. Ye even transform the dull indifferent days to vile confusion of entangling terror. 'Tis hard, I know, from demons to escape. The spirit's bond breaks not, however one tries it. And yet, O care, thy power, thy creeping shape, think not that I shall recognize it.
So feel it now. My curse thou'lt find, when forth from thee I've swiftly passed. Throughout their whole existence men are blind. So, Faust, be like them at last.
She breathes in his face. Faust, blinded.
The night seems deeper now to press around me, but in my inmost spirit all is light. I rest not till the finished work hath crowned me. The master's word alone bestows the might. Up from your couches, vassals, man by man, make grandly visible my daring plan. Seize now your tools, with spade and shovel press. The work traced out must be a swift success. Quick diligence, severest ordering, the most superb reward shall bring. And, that the mighty work completed stands, one mind suffices for 1,000 hands.
End of Act 5, Scene 5. Act 5, Scene 6 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 6. Great outer court of the palace. Torches. Mephistopheles in advance as overseer.
Come here, come here. Come on, ye lemures, loose-hung creatures, of sinew, ligament, and bone, your knitted semi-natures.
Lemures in chorus.
Without delay are we at hand, and half 'tis our impression that this concerns a spacious land whereof we'll have possession. The pointed stakes, we bring them all, the measuring chain for distance, but we've forgotten why the call was made for our assistance.
Here is no need of your artistic zeal. Proceed as you may think it best. Your tallest lay full length from head to heel, and lift the turf around him, all the rest. As for our father's maid, prepare to excavate a lengthened square, from palace to the narrow house transferred, such is at last the issue most absurd.
The Mures digging with mocking gestures.
In youth when I did love, methought it was very sweet, when 'twas jolly and merry every way, and I blithely moved my feet. But now old age with his stealing steps hath clawed me with his crutch. I stumbled over the door of a grave, why leave they open such?
Faust comes forth from the palace, groping his way along the doorposts.
How I rejoice to hear the clattering spade! It is the crowd, for me in service moiling, till earth be reconciled to toiling, till the proud waves be stayed, and the sea girded with a rigid zone.
Mephistopheles aside.
And yet, thou'rt labouring for us alone, with all thy dykes and bulwarks daring, since thou for Neptune art preparing, the ocean devil, carousal great. In every way shall ye be stranded, the elements with us are banded, and ruin is the certain fate.
Overseer!
Here!
However possible, collect a crowd of men with vigour, spur by indulgence, praise, or rigour, reward, allure, conscript, compel. Each day report to me, and correctly note how grows in length the undertaken moat.
Mephistopheles, half aloud.
When they to me the information gave, they spoke not of a moat, but of a grave.
Below the hills a marshy plain infects what I so long have been retrieving. This stagnant pool likewise to drain were now my latest and my best achieving. To many millions let me furnish soil, though not secure, yet free to active toil. Green, fertile fields, where men and herds go forth, at once with comfort, on the newest earth. And swiftly settled on the hill's firm base, created by the bold industrious race, a land like paradise here, round about, up to the brink the tide may roar without, and though it gnaw to burst with force the limit, by common impulse all unite to hem it. Yes, To this thought I hold with firm persistence. The last result of wisdom stamps it true. He only earns his freedom and existence who daily conquers them anew. Thus here, by dangers girt, shall glide away of childhood, manhood, age, the vigorous day, and such a throng I fain would see stand on free soil among a people free. Then dared I hail the moment fleeing, "Ah, still delay, thou art so fair!" The traces cannot of mine earthly being in aeons perish, they are there. In proud forefeeling of such lofty bliss, I now enjoy the highest moment, this.
Faust sinks back. The lemures take him and lay him upon the ground.
No joy could sate him and suffice, no bliss. To catch but shifting shapes was his endeavour. The latest, poorest, emptiest moment, this. He wished to hold it fast for ever. Me he resisted in such vigorous wise. But time is lord, on earth the old man lies. The clock stands still.
Stands still. Silent as midnight now. The index falls.
It falls. And it is finished, here.
'Tis past.
Past? A stupid word. If past, then why? Past and pure naught, complete monotony. What good for us, this endlessly creating? What is created then annihilating? And now it's past. Why read a page so twisted? 'Tis just the same as if it ne'er existed. It goes in circles round as if it had, however. I'd rather choose, instead, the void for ever.
Sepulture. Lemur, solo.
Who then hath built the house so ill, with shovel and with spade?
Lemures, chorus.
For thee, dull guest, in hempen vest, it all too well was made. Who then so ill hath decked the hall? No chairs nor table any. 'Twas borrowed to return at call. The creditors are so many.
The body lies, and if the spirit flee, I'll show it speedily my blood-signed title. But they've found such methods of requital, His souls the devils must oft abstracted see. One now offends the ancient way, Upon the new we're not yet recommended. Once I alone secured my prey, But now by helpers need to be befriended. In all things we must feel the spite, Transmitted custom, ancient right. Nothing indeed can longer one confide in, Once with the last breath left the soul her house. I kept good watch, and like the nimblest mouse, Whack was she caught, and fast my claws her hide in. Now she delays, and is not fain to quit the dismal place, the corpse's hideous mansion. The elements, in hostile fierce expansion, Drive her at last disgracefully from it. And though I fret and worry till I'm weary, When, how, and where, remains the fatal query. Old Death is now no longer swift and strong, Even weather has been doubtful long. Oft I beheld with lust the rigid members. 'Twas only sham, life kindled from its embers.
Fantastic, whirling gestures of conjuration.
Come on, strike up the double quick anew, With straight or crooked horns, ye gentlemen infernal, Of the old devil grit and kernel, And bring at once the jaws of hell with you. Hell hath a multitude of jaws, in short, To use as suiteth place and dignity. But we, however, in this final sport, Will henceforth less considerate be.
The fearful jaws of hell open on the left.
The side tusks yawn, then from the throat abysmal The raging fiery torrents flow, And in the vapours of the background dismal I see the city flame in endless glow. Up to the teeth the breakers lash the red arena. The damned, in hope of help, are swimming through, But caught and mangled by the fell hyena, Their path of fiery torment they renew. In every nook new horrors flash and brighten. in narrow space so much of dread supreme. Well have you done, the sinners thus to frighten, but still they'll think it lie and cheat and dream.
To the stout devils with short straight horns.
Now, paunchy scamps, with cheeks so redly burning, ye glow, so fat with hellish sulphur fed, with necks thick set and stumpy, never turning. Watch here below, if phosphor light be shed. It is the soul, the winged Psyche is it. Pluck off the wings, 'tis but a hideous worm. First with my stamp and seal the thing I'll visit, then fling it to the whirly fiery storm. The lower parts be well inspected, ye bloats, perform ye duty well. If there the soul her seat selected, we cannot yet exactly tell. Oft in the navel doth she stay, look out for that, she thence may slip away.
To the lean devils with long crooked horns.
Ye lean buffoons, file leaders strange and giant, grasp in the air, yourselves no respite give. Strong in the arms, with talons sharp and pliant, that ye may seize the fluttering fugitive. In her old home discomforted she lies, and genius, surely, seeks at once to rise.
Glory from above on the right.
The heavenly host.
Envoys unhindered, heavenly kindred, follow us here. Sinners forgiving, dust to make living. Lovingest features unto all creatures, show in your swaying, delaying career.
Discords I hear, a harsh, disgusting strumming, flung from above with the unwelcome day. 'Tis that emasculate and bungled humming which pious cant delights in every way. You know how we, atrociously contented, destruction for the human race have planned, but the most infamous that we've invented is just the thing their prayers demand. The fops, they come as hypocrites to fool us. Thus many have they snatched before our eyes, with our own weapons they would overrule us. They're also devils in disguise. To lose this case would be your lasting shame. On to the grave and fortify your claim.
Chorus of angels scattering roses.
Roses, ye glowing ones, balsam bestowing ones, fluttering, quivering, sweetness delivering, branching unblightedly, budding delightedly, bloom and be seen. Springtime declare him in purple and green, paradise bear him, the sleeper serene.
Mephistopheles to the Satans.
Why do ye jerk and squat? Is this hell's rule? Stand to your ground and let them sprinkle back to his place each gawky fool. They think, perhaps, with such a flowery creakle, as if 'twere snow the devil's heat to cool. Your breath shall make it melt and shrink and wrinkle. Now blow, ye blowers! 'Tis enough, enough, before your breath fades all the floating stuff. Not so much violence, shut jaws and noses. Forsooth, ye blow too strongly at the roses. The proper measure can you never learn. They sting not only, but they wither, burn. They hover on with flames of deadly lustre. Resist them ye, and close together cluster. Your force gives out. Oh, courage fails you so. The devil sent the strange, alluring glow.
Blossoms of gratitude, flames of beatitude, love they are bearing now, rapture preparing now, as the heart may. Truth in its nearness, ether in clearness, give the eternal hosts everywhere day.
Oh, curse and shame upon such dolts be sped! Each Satan stands upon his head. In somersaults the stout ones whirl and swerve, and into hell plunge bottom uppermost. Now may your bath be hot as you deserve, but I remain unflinching at my post.
Beating off the hovering roses.
Off, will-o'-the-wisps, bright as ye seem to be, when caught the vilest clinging filth are ye. Why flutter thus? Off with you, quick! Like pitch and sulphur on my neck they stick.
What not appertaineth to you, cease to share it. What inwardly paineth, refuse ye to bear it. If it press in with might, use we our stronger right. Love but the loving leads to the light.
My head, heart, liver by the flames are rent, an over devilish element, sharper than hell's red conflagration. Thence so enormous is your lamentation, unfortunate enamoured, who, so spurned, your heads towards the sweetheart's side have turned. Mine too! What twists my head in like position? With them am I not sworn to competition? The sight of them once made my hatred worse. Hath then an alien force transpierced my nature? I like to see them, youths of loveliest stature. What now restrains me that I dare not curse? And if I take their cozening bait so, who else henceforth the veriest fool will be? The stunning fellows whom I hate so. How very charming they appear to me! Tell me, sweet children, ere I miss you, are ye not of the race of Lucifer? You are so fair, forsooth, I'd like to kiss you. It seems to me as if ye welcome were. I feel as comfortable and as trustful as though 1,000 times ere this we'd met, so surreptitiously cat-like lustful. With every glance ye're fairer, fairer yet. Oh, nearer come! Oh, grant me one sweet look!
We come! Why shrink? Canst not our presence brook? Now we approach, so if thou canst, remain.
The angels coming forward occupy the whole space. Mephistopheles, who is crowded into the proscenium.
Us, spirits damned, you brand with censure, yet you are wizards by indenture. For man and woman, luring, you enchain. What chance the cursed adventure brings me? Is this love's chosen element? The fire o'er all my body stings me. My neck I hardly feel, so hotly sprint. Ye hover back and forth. Sink down and settle. Move your sweet limbs with more of worldly metal. The serious air befits you well, awhile. But I should like, just once, to see you smile. That were for me an everlasting rapture. I mean as lovers look, the heart to capture. About the mouth a simper there must be. Thee, tall one, as enticing I'll admit thee. The priestly mien does not at all befit thee. So look at me the least bit wantonly. You might be nakeder, and modest made so, Your shirt's long drapery is over moral. They turn, and from the rear surveyed so, With their attraction there's no need to quarrel.
Love still revealing, flames become clearer. All cursed with error, truth be their healing. Glad self-retrieval, freedom from evil, in the all-folding breast, blessed to rest.
Mephistopheles collecting himself.
How is't with me? Like Job, the boils have cleft me from head to foot, so that myself I shun. Yet triumph also when my self-inspection's done, when self and tribe I have confided in. The noble devil parts at least are left me. This love attacks a rash upon the skin. Burned out already are the scurvy fires. And one and all, I damn you as the case requires.
Hallowed glories, round whom they brood, wakes unto being of bliss with the good. Join ye the glorified, rise to your goal. Airs are purified, breathe now the soul.
They rise, bearing away the immortal part of Faust. Mephistopheles, looking around him.
But how? At once I find them failing. This race of miners takes me by surprise. They with their booty heavenwards are sailing. Thence on this grave they cast their greedy eyes. My rare, great treasure they have peculated. The lofty soul to me hypothecated. They've rapt away from me in cunning wise. But unto whom shall I appeal for justice? Who would secure to me my well-earned right? Tricked so in one's old days a great disgust is. And I deserve it, this infernal spite. I've managed in a most disgraceful fashion. A great investment has been thrown away, by lowest lusts seduced, and senseless passion. the old case-hardened devil went astray. And if, from all this childish silly stuff, his shrewd experience could not wrest him, so is, forsooth, the folly quite enough, which, in conclusion, hath possessed him.
End of Act 5, Scene 6. Scene 7 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 7. Mountain gorges, forest, rock, desert. Holy anchorites divided in ascending plains posted among the ravines.
Forests are waving grand. Rocks, they are huge at hand. Clutching, the roots expand. Thickly the tree trunks stand. Foaming comes wave on wave. Shelter hath deepest cave. Lions are prowling dumb, friendly where'er we come, honoring the sacred place, refuge of love and grace.
Pater ecstaticus, hovering up and down.
Endless ecstatic fire, glow of the pure desire, pain of the pining breast, rapture of God possessed. Arrows transpierce ye me, lances coerce ye me, bludgeons so batter me, lightnings so shatter me, that all of mortality's vain unrealities die, and the star above beam but eternal love.
Pater profundus, lower region.
As at my feet abysses cloven rest on abysses deep below, as thousands severed streams are woven to foamy floods that plunging go, as up by self-implosion driven, the tree its weight sustains in air, to love, almighty love, 'tis given all things to form and all to bear. Around me sounds a savage roaring, as rocks and forests heaved and swayed, yet plunges bounteous in its pouring the wealth of waters down the glade. Appointed then the vales to brighten, the bolt that flaming struck and burst the atmosphere to cleanse and lighten, which pestilence in its bosom nursed. Love's herald both, the powers proclaiming, which I, creature, us enfold, may then within my bosom flaming inspire the mind, confused and cold, which frets itself through blunted senses, as by the sharpest fetter smart. O God, soothe thou my thoughts bewildered, enlighten thou my needy heart.
Pater Seraphicus, middle region.
What a cloud of morning hovers o'er the pine trees' tossing hair! Can I guess what life it covers? They are spirits young and fair.
Chorus of blessed boys.
Tell us, Father, where we wander. Tell us, kind one, who are we? Happy are we, for so tender unto all it is to be.
Boys brought forth in midnights haunted, half unsealed the sense and brain, for the parents lost when granted, for the angels' sweetest gain. That a loving heart is nigh you, you can feel, then come to me. But of earthly ways that try you, blessed ones, not a trace have ye. Enter in mine eyes, enjoy them, organs for the earthly sphere. As your own ye may employ them, look upon the landscape here.
He takes them into himself.
Those are trees, there rocks defend us. Here a stream that leaps below, and with plunges wild tremendous, shorteneth its journey so.
Blessed boys from within him.
To a vision grand we waken, but the scenes too gloomy show. We with fear and dread are shaken. Kindest Father, let us go.
Upward rise to higher borders, ever grow insensibly, as by pure eternal orders, God's high presence strengthens ye. Such the Spirit's sustentation, with the freest ether blending, love's eternal revelation, to beatitude ascending.
Chorus of blessed boys circling around the highest summit.
Hands now and ring ye, joyously reeling, soar ye and sing ye with holiest feeling. The teacher before ye, trust and be bold. Whom ye adore, ye him shall behold.
Angels soaring in the higher atmosphere, bearing the immortal part of Faust.
The noble spirit now is free and saved from evil scheming. Whoe'er aspires unweariedly is not beyond redeeming. And if he feels the grace of love that from on high is given, the blessed hosts that wait above shall welcome him to heaven.
The younger angels.
They, the roses freely spended, by the penitent, the glorious, help to make the fight victorious, and the lofty work is ended. We this precious soul have won us, evil ones be forced to shun us, devils fled us when we hit them. Instead of pangs of hell that bit them, love pangs felt they, sharper, vaster. Even he, old Satan, master, pierced with keenest pain, retreated. Now rejoice, the work's completed.
The more perfect angels.
Earth's residue to bear hath sorely pressed us. It were not pure and fair, though it were of asbestos. When every element the mind's high forces have seized, subdued, and blent, no angel divorces twin natures single grown that inly made them. Eternal love alone can separate them.
The younger angels.
Mist-like on heights above, we now are seeing nearer and nearer move spiritual being. The clouds are growing clear, and moving throngs appear of blessed boys, free from earthly gloom, encircling poise, who taste the cheer of the new springtime bloom of the upper sphere. Let them inaugurate him to the perfect state, now as their pair.
Blessed boys.
Gladly receive we now him as a chrysalis, therefore achieve we now pledge of our bliss. The earth flakes dissipate that cling around him. See, he is fair and great, divine life hath crowned him.
Dr. Marianus, in the highest, purest cell.
Free is the view at last, the spirit lifted. There women, floating past, are upward drifted. The glorious one therein, with star-crown tender, the pure, the heavenly queen, I know her splendour.
Enraptured.
Highest mistress of the world, let me in the azure tent of heaven in light unfurled hear thy mystery measure. Justify sweet thoughts that move breast of man to meet thee, and with holy bliss of love bear him up to greet thee. With unconquered courage we do thy bidding highest, but at once shall gentle be when thou pacifiest. Virgin, pure in brightest sheen, mother sweet, supernal, unto us elected queen, peer of gods eternal. Light clouds are circling around her splendour, penitent woman of nature's tender, her knees embracing, ether aspiring, mercy requiring. Thou, in immaculate ray, mercy not leavest, and the lightly led astray, who trust thee receivest. In their weakness fallen at length, hard it is to save them, who can crush by native strength vices that enslave them. Whose the foot that may not slip on the surface slanting? Whom befall not eye and lip, breath and voice enchanting?
The Mater Gloriosa soars into the space. Chorus of women penitents.
To heights thou art speeding, of endless Eden. Receive our pleading, transcendent maiden, with mercy laden.
Magna Peccatrix. St. Luke 7:36.
By the love before him kneeling, him thy son a godlike vision, by the tears like balsam stealing, spite of Pharisees' derision, by the box whose ointment precious shed its spice and odours cheery, by the locks whose softest meshes dried the holy feet and very.
Mulier Samaritana, St. John 4.
By that well the ancient station, whither Abram's flocks were driven, by the jar whose restoration to the Saviour's lips was given, by the fountain pure and vernal, thence its present bounty spending, overflowing bright eternal, watering the world's unending.
Maria Aegyptiaca, Acta Sanctorum.
By the place where the immortal body of the Lord hath lain, by the arm which from the portal, warning, thrust me back again, by the 40 years' repentance in the lonely desert land, by the blissful farewell sentence which I wrote upon the sand.
Thou thy presence not deniest
unto sinful women ever, liftest them to win the highest
gain of penitent endeavor.
So from this good soul withdraw not, who but once forgot transgressing, who her loving error saw not, pardon adequate and blessing.
Una Penitentium, formerly named Margaret, stealing closer.
Incline, maiden, with mercy laden, in light unfading thy gracious countenance upon my bliss. My loved, my lover, his trials over, in yonder world returns to me in this.
Blessed boys approaching in hovering circles.
With mighty limbs he towers, already above us. He, for this love of ours, will richly love us. Early we were removed, ere life could reach us. Yet he hath learned and proved, and he will teach us.
The penitent, formerly named Margaret.
The spirit choir around him seeing, new to himself, he scarce divines his heritage of newborn being, when like the holy host he shines. Behold, how he each band hath cloven, the earthly life had round him thrown, and through his garb, of ether woven, the early force of youth is shown. Vouchsafe to me that I instruct him, still dazzles him the day's new glare.
Mater Gloriosa.
Rise thou to higher spheres, conduct him, who feeling thee shall follow there.
Dr. Marianus, prostrate, adoring.
Penitents, look up, elate, where she beams salvation. Gratefully to blessed fate grow in recreation. Be our souls, as they have been, dedicate to thee, Virgin Holy, Mother, Queen, Goddess, gracious be.
Chorus Mysticus.
All things transitory, but as symbols are sent. Earth's insufficiency here grows to event. The indescribable, here it is done. The woman soul leadeth us upward and on.
End of Act 5, Scene 7. End of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, translated by Bayard Taylor.